Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, joined by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Shell, Southern Shell. How are you today?
Good.
Good deal. And we got Tyler at the board. Tyler, you all right, man?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Awesome. We're ready to kick this podcast off. First, Shell, I thought we would go ahead and give our reminder of the Palmer Home event we have going on. Do you want to do a little talking about the Palmer Home?
I do. We're up to like $3,200.
Awesome.
We have a fundraiser, Matt Bailey. He's helped us raise over $1,000.
Wow. So Matt's in the lead for one of the free class tickets,
yes,
right?
Yes,
That's
Matt
great.
is.
That's great.
I was going to ask Tyler, can we put a link to the fundraiser on all our podcast and video podcast descriptions?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I set up this thing. It's been built out, but if you go to HowtoBBQRight.com/Palmer, PALMER, it'll take you where you need to be and give you all the information.
Good deal. We're raising that money for the Palmer Home. It's a local children's home here in DeSoto County where we live in Hernando, and we get behind them because they do some great work for kids that are in need. They place them with parents in actually homes. There's 8 kids to one home with the mom and dad that live there with them full time on the Palmer Home campus here in Hernando, and it takes $2,500 per kid at these homes to feed them for a year. So we took it upon ourselves to say we're going to take one of the homes in. We pledged $20,000 to feed 8 kids for a full year at the Palmer Home. So that's why we're doing this fundraiser, and we're trying to raise these funds for a good cause. So appreciate the support.
Jay from Tennessee Mojo came and filmed on Monday.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. So we're tuning up for Memphis in May, and I had that on my notes. That's kind of giving Memphis in May update.
My notes
so,
too.
So last Monday we did film. Jay came, the defending Memphis in May rib champ from 2019 because we didn't get to cook last year. He's going to defend, and there's going to be there's usually 130 something teams. I didn't count how many rib teams there's going to be in it this year because they scaled Memphis in May back some. Mm-hmm. But we're going to be going. He's going to be going up to get some stiff competition. We're going to be one of those teams. So,
but
trying to knock him off.
Yeah, he came and filmed, and he gave his method. Like, this is what I did to win Memphis in May.
That's right.
I said last year, but
last time.
But he let it.
He put it all out there.
He did.
He got on camera. He did some talking right to camera. He didn't, his style of videos. I don't know if you guys have seen Tennessee Mojo.
Making It
Mojo is his channel on YouTube. And it's my buddy Jay Durbin. He's from Tennessee, and he does YouTube videos too. But he has his own style where he cooks and he films it all, but then he comes back and he lays his audio over it and has a good time with it. And he's never really shown his face on camera.
Yeah,
he's starting to come around to it. That's just Jay's style. You got to know Jay.
I like his videos.
Yeah, those are great. But I think Jay's hilarious. So I was glad he come on and and got in and jumped in with me and showed me how to cook something. So it was a lot of fun.
I will say I learned several things from Jay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With his process, and it was a dang good rib.
It was smooth, wasn't it?
It was a really good rib. It was the kind of rib that you would expect to win Memphis May. Nothing was too crazy. It just made you go, Yep. Tenderness was on point.
It was balanced. That's the way I would say it. The smoke balanced with the seasonings he put on, and when we started cooking them, Jay's layering the rubs on. He used 2 rubs. He used his. He's always used my hot rub for a long time. He uses it. He loves the color on it. And he loves the spice on it, and it don't have too much sugar, so it don't get too dark. You could pair it with something else. And so he was putting it to him, and I was like, man, that's a heavy seasoning, To me it was, and that's what we've been working on our recipe, tuning it up too, and I haven't been going near that heavy. So I'm fixing to step my seasoning game up.
Yeah. But he only uses those 2 rubs the entire cook.
The entire time. Yeah. And even as his finishing rub, he puts those in a little thumb grinder and grinds those over at the end.
So it just keeps the flavors
the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Jay says it's a simple recipe. There's nothing tricky about it. There's nothing fancy about it. This is just how he does it. And I think he does that so well that it turns out for him. And I think that's why he won Memphis in May when he did.
Yeah, I agree. He has some little techniques that give him a really good finished product. And that video is going to come out. I think we have it scheduled for like the first week of May. So like in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. I wanted to be closer to Memphis in May.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of dropping it right now. It gives too many people time to start practicing on that recipe.
Exactly.
We might wait till we wake up and drop it.
That wasn't the plan, but when we were filming it, I was thinking that. I was like,
we don't want to put this out too soon. People, every rib at Memphis and May would start tasting like that.
I need to keep these secrets for myself for a little bit.
Just for a little bit, yeah. But we had a good time, and it was Jay just came in for the day, so we didn't really get a chance to do a podcast. And we'll try to get him back, though.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get him to come back the week we release that video after we release it, and then he can sit down and we can do a podcast.
Yeah, and talk about it. He'll probably be in town for Memphis and May. Maybe he can swing through and do it.
So he was on. I think we had him on in 19 to do a podcast.
We've had him twice.
We've had him on twice.
I think one time he went into the closet.
Did he? I don't remember that one. I remember him coming to the.
Or maybe it was just the bedroom.
I don't remember that.
He only came to the old podcast studio.
That's the only one I remember, but
we've actually had 3 podcast studios.
This is the 4th.
What do you?
So we were in the closet, then we came out of the closet to the bedroom. That's when we came out, and then we had the McInville little nail parlor, the dungeon. We had the podcast in the dungeon there at the nail parlor, and now we have here on Whitfield. So that's the 4th. Where's it going after this one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jamaica, hopefully.
Jamaica, yeah, that would be nothing. I would totally be down with that.
Me too.
You down with that one, Tyler? That would suck, wouldn't it? To have to go to Jamaica and do podcasts.
Can you imagine?
God, man, I know. That'd just get me down.
It'd be a whole different type of podcast. So.
Yeah, it'd be a whole different podcast. We'd be casting.
So you did Rimpy this week.
I did, and so that I always like going on with Greg. He does a good show. I mean, that's kind of what we've looked up to him, and got to doing our podcast because of his BBQ Central show. And he's had me on. Man, I think it's just the 3rd season. He had it figured up. I think it's my 3rd season on there.
Really?
Doing the first Tuesday of every month. Like I do the first segment.
Yeah, you're a
and I've been doing it for a while, so. We were talking about that Reaper challenge, and he's like, so I challenged him to do it, and we sent him some Reaper jerky, and he did it. He did it on the podcast. I think he might have regretted it, but he did it.
He sent some message that said, I'm regretting it today.
Yeah, the next day, still, it's a double regret. Yeah, but no, he tried, and
did he eat the whole bag?
No, he just pulled out a monster-sized piece and kind of ate on it as the segment went on, and you could tell it was starting to build up because that Reaper jerky tastes really good, but then it kicks in, and that's and someone chimed in on his that's a sign of you've got some real deal. It's not like fake Reaper. That's the nature of that pepper. Yeah. So it comes on, and it does, and it usually burns for a good 20-30 minutes. If you eat the whole bag, I've never ate the whole bag. I've got to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to pay. I just know that's going to be a bad day. I've been putting it off. We're waiting until we get these shirts in. We've got some T-shirts made. I got to send Greg one. Don't let him forget when we get those in. Send Greg a Reaper shirt.
He was wearing "This Is My Barbecue."
Yeah, he had to. I like that too. That was awesome. But no, and shout out to Greg for bringing up the Palmer Home thing too, man. He's pushing that, and he's challenged his listeners to help raise money for it. And he actually during that show, he was doing a match. If someone put up, I forget how much it was. He was matching, so. It was like $1,000.
Yeah, I think it was $1,000. Yeah, it
was something crazy. It was a lot. I was like, "Dang, Greg must be rolling." But yeah, we're excited. I hope to get him here when we do that cooking, cooking with Malcom or whatever we're going to call it for those winners.
Yeah,
maybe Greg get to come. That'd be cool.
We could do some content with him, definitely. But he didn't cry.
No, he took it like a man.
Did he sweat?
Yeah, he had sweat popping out, nose running. It wasn't crying. I mean, it wasn't. Now, the first time I ate it, I ain't gonna lie. I ate some of the Reaper, and then we got the Hot AF, which is ghost pepper. So I was eating some of. I should have sent Greg a bag of that too, so he could do the double. I don't know what you'd even call that. Ghost Reaper. Ghost. Is it Carolina Reaper and ghost peppers? Am I right?
Yeah.
So you eat both of those types of jerkies at the same time. I couldn't do it.
You were sweating, your eyes were running, your nose was running.
Oh, yeah, but see, so the ghost pepper stuff is like bam right in your face. There ain't no delay on it. It's like as soon as you eat it, it automatically goes to flames, and then the Reaper kicks in once you think that's tapering off, and neither one of them taper. They just keep building, and then you're just nothing works.
Horsemen of the Apocalypse challenge.
Yeah, that's it. But they're both good. They taste good if you can stand the heat. Some people love it.
Not me.
Not you. It's too much.
I mean, I like a little heat. I tell you what, Jay's ribs had a pretty good little heat on them, but they weren't too much. You know,
he used.
I like a little heat.
I can't remember the name of that honey that he used, but it was like a spicy honey that went in his wrap. It was in this little black bottle.
Bee's knees.
Bee's knees. That's what it was. Yeah, man, that gave that with the hot rub paired really good.
Yeah.
And then he put some bacon fat off in the wrap too. What? No, it tasted good.
I've never seen anybody put bacon fat in their wrap.
I've never put bacon fat in rib wrap. I've used bacon fat.
I do not hate the idea. I got to tell you.
I don't hate the idea. So we've been practicing Memphis and May too. So
we've had a lot of people asking questions about Memphis and May, about being like an attendee of Memphis and May, and I thought we might address some of that.
Yeah. So here's what we know. We only know what they're telling us, and it ain't a whole lot.
We knew how it used to flow.
Right. So this year, to get in as what do you call it, spectator or an attendee, not a competitor, you have to pre-buy your tickets. There will be no tickets sold at the gate,
and they're only $12. They're not bad.
It's not like it's super expensive, but there's no more 3-day passes. You have to buy a ticket for every day you go, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And I guess you go to memphisandmay.org, because I don't know if it's a Ticketmaster event or what. Ticketmaster's in Memphis is usually where all tickets are sold to events, but I don't know if they're using that or if you just go to memphisandmay.org. Spell out memphisandmay.org, and there's a World Championship barbecue link. But you go there and you get the info to get your tickets. Now, once you get there, it's going to be totally different because they're limiting the number of people. They're going to be real strict about it. We've heard there's going to be mask required at all times.
I ain't wearing no mask all the time.
Once I'm inside my booth, there's going to have to be some police to keep that.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to.
They're going to have mask police like they do the green police.
I mean, it's an outdoor event.
But what they've done, they space the teams out. We've got more size booths, and we're supposed to not be as crowded, but I'll believe that when I see it because it look from the map. It looks like there's somebody on either side of us. So there's no. I would have liked it if they would have gave us 6 foot around our booth extra. That would have been perfect. There's no patio team. There's no patio division this year. There's only the pros.
So what do you get? Let's talk about what you get with your $12 ticket.
You get in. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. You get in. You're not guaranteed to be in anybody's booth, so they're supposed to be keeping the number of people in the booth down. Like you can only have so many people. So these big parties that usually go on at Memphis and May are not going to be happening in the same scope they were. It used to be where if you got to the park by lunch, it was open every day for free, so people could come in, go to a lunch, and go back out. Now they're not open for lunch at all. They are giving us teams like so many lunch tickets depending on the size of your booth. So like our booth is a 34 by 56, and I think we get 30. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 30 lunch tickets each day. That's all the people we can have in there.
But
that includes plus our 15 that we get. So it's like 30, it's like, what does that be?
Is the max your booth can hold?
Yeah. But I don't know that they're going to tell us what the max is, surely, that you can't have over 50 people in there at one time or whatever. But it's based on size, like 6 foot around it, for 6 foot per every person or something crazy like that.
But also, once you get your lunch ticket and get inside, they're basically going to kick you back out.
You've only got a couple hours, and they're clearing the park again. So, and then they're going to start ticketed sales coming in and monitoring. And once they reach capacity, they're cutting that off too. So it's going to be totally. I don't know what it's going to be like.
People were
just
asking,
speculating,
and people were asking about the pit pass, and I'm like, I don't think you understand. I don't know what the pit pass really is.
So normally, pit pass, there's so many teams sign up for. So
it's basically a tour.
Yeah, basically a tour. So,
but you only get to go to the people that have volunteered to be part of it.
You don't get to go in everybody's booth. It's only the ones that have signed up to be a part of the pit pass or pit tour it's not a contest. I guess it is a contest in a way. Kingsford's doing a contest thing where people you come out, you sign up, yeah, and then you go to certain booths and you try some of their shoulder, and I guess you vote on it. But they're doing. I saw the thing where they're bringing 15 people at a time for like your time is like an hour and a half or something like that. Yeah. So there'll be some teams involved in that. We usually don't do that stuff. Typical year for us at Memphis in May, our booth stays packed anyway. We've got people lined up to get in, and we're trying to talk to everybody and have a good time and all that at the same time. So we don't have time to do these tours and things like that. Yeah, I show everybody my pits and talk to them. If you come by and see me, I'm usually up front doing that anyway. So it's.
If you see Malcom out front, you can stop by and say hey.
Yeah, you can stop by and say hey. I can't guarantee you'll get in the booth this year. Normally we let people come in and talk to us. But I don't know what it's going to be like, this year. So I'll at least try to make every effort I can to talk to everybody that comes by me.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do.
We try to usually get out of there kind of early, too.
Yeah, the partying, there's one, I'll pick one night, and that'll be my party night, because that's all I can do. I wouldn't be worth crap on Saturday if I did it on Friday night, so it won't be Friday. It's usually Thursday.
Yeah.
That's my night to stay later than I should. I'm not closing it down and all that.
No.
It ran out.
You get tired of being down there after a while.
Well, I'd like to get there early.
Yeah.
I'd like to get there in the morning and
we
then
usually
stay all
have
day.
meat inspections and turn-ins and have to prep and get ready. So we got to get there early, and then you've been out there all day using a porta-john and
ready for a hotel or go back to the house and take a real shower. But that's, as far as Memphis in May, that's all we know is it's going to be different. There's going to be new rules, and they're going to be spacing us out.
I don't really know
the
what
number of people is going to be. Yeah, and I've heard that, some tickets only get you into like the vending area. Then some tickets get you into the cooking area. I don't know how they're going to divide all that.
I don't know how they're going to run people off after lunch. With the lunch ticket.
Oh, I know how they're good at running people off. They'll do a thing, and they do that every year. They do it at night now.
Yeah.
And they get out, so it won't be impossible for them to do. But tickets are going to be short supply.
Yeah. If you're interested, get your tickets now.
Definitely. And as we learn more, we'll be sure to share it on our podcast. And
so you've been practicing?
We have. Me and Mark and Brian have been we're cooking on the BFO this year. That's the big freaking outlaw. And we've been learning that pit. Every pit cooks different, so you got to put some time in with them. And what we hadn't really been concentrating on the flavor as much now as we have the texture of the rib. That's where, to me, this contest is won or lost in your texture. So we're nailing it down on, how long we're going to smoke the rib, how long we're going to wrap the rib, how long we're going to hold the rib, and how long we're going to finish the rib. And once we get that dialed in, and we've got our texture pretty much where we want, we figured out how long it takes and what temp we need to cook at and where the spots on the grill we want to put show ribs versus blind ribs versus final ribs and all that. So now it's time to go to work on what we're putting in the wrap. We're trying to, get those flavors lined in so they go with the seasonings we're going to put on it. And we're just experimenting with some things and taking notes. And by the time Memphis in May gets here, we'll be able to do it in our sleep.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Yeah. And all I got to do is talk about it.
How many practice cooks do you think you got ahead of you? Do you think you can fit
more
in
before Memphis in May?
Between now and Memphis in May.
20.
No way.
We're going to cook. We're going to at least cook. How many more weeks do we have?
Today's the 9th.
So we're planning on cooking a case of ribs every week at least.
3.
And then that'll take 3 or 4 cooks each one probably. We'll do about 6.
You got 4, maybe 5 weeks.
Yeah, I can get 20 in. 20 more. That's my goal.
So that
we're gonna be sick of ribs by the time we get to Memphis in May. You're not gonna want to eat ribs.
Practices every week.
4 a week? That's much. We'll do 3 a week.
Okay, that I could see.
Yeah. That's a lot of ribs.
So you're telling me we don't have any weekends off?
Oh no, there's in July. I think that's our next off weekend.
Yeah, it is.
We've got next weekend. Is next weekend Fergalicious coming?
No,
or is it 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, that's good. I've got that on my notes to talk about too.
We also had a new outlaw show up at the shop today.
Man, she's a Fancy. That's what I named her. Miss Fancy. There's her one chance. Putting her out there. There's her one chance. Fancy, don't let me down.
But are you cooking on her at Memphis and I?
Heck yeah, we are. Yeah. That and the BFO.
So you got two big.
Take a big hoss, the BFO, big hoss, and Miss Fancy. That's the two pits we're taking. Why is that funny?
Big hoss and Miss Fancy.
That's it. That's who we're going to bat with. You only get one shot.
See, I had on my note you needed to name the new red one.
Oh, I've already got that. Yeah. I think that's a great name for her. She looks fancy, doesn't she? She's all dolled up. What did Fancy's mama tell her?
She
never a new dancing dress. Turned her loose, put her out on the streets, told her to go find her a benevolent man, one that's real charitable. I don't know what all that means, but I think I do. I got an idea what Reba was singing about.
When I was a kid, I had no idea what Reba was singing
about. Trap star or something.
But I remember when I hit a teenager, I was like, oh.
I understand now. But yeah, so that's going to be our pits. We're going to cook on it Memphis in May.
So today I was going to talk about some barbecue trends or food trends we've been seeing here lately.
Yeah. What's the first one that came to your mind?
Bacon wrapped Oreos. We have not tried those, and I really want to.
Those came out last year. People were doing those. I remember Matt Pittman did them.
Yeah.
Like they were doing them, and he did them on Traeger. I hadn't tried them. But I know that I put those Oreos in those slutty brownies I did on TikTok, thick girl brownies, and they were jam up with the I tore some of my bacon jerky up. So I know, how can an Oreo wrapped in bacon be bad? The only thing I think that would make it better is like if after you got it smoked or cooked on the cooker where the bacon was done, you took it and you dunked it in chocolate and put it on a rack and let it hard like a piece of candy, and so it was a chocolate coated bacon wrapped Oreo.
Or had some,
Tyler, we might have to do that on TikTok.
Yeah, take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Well, you know how I dip those pretzels at Christmas time?
Yeah. That's what that pretzel rod thing. Yeah. That would be excellent.
We could do that.
So I've seen. Have y'all seen this that people have been doing where they take a piece of bacon and they twist it up and they make and they cook it, twist it up. So it gets crispy on the outside, but it's still a little chewy on the inside. It makes like a pretzel stick, but it looks like a twisted pretzel, but it's a piece of bacon.
How thick is the bacon?
Just bacon or whatever. Or, you probably couldn't do thin. I don't know. It looks like something you'd stick down to Bloody Mary or something.
Yeah.
But that's what got me thinking. If you did those and dunked those in chocolate, those would be good too.
Heck yeah. So, how do they keep the shape?
You just twist them like. You grab the ends and just kind of twist it like a candy cane or whatever, and then you just lay it down.
And it holds
on a sheet pan, and it cooks all twisted up. So it has some depth, thickness to it.
So you get
it's
some
not
crunchy,
super thick, yeah.
You get some crunchies on the ends, some chewy on the inside.
That's right. But I've noticed that. That's one that I've seen people doing here lately. Another one that's, I guess it came on last year too, and I'm not sure I'm saying it right, but it's like birria tacos. Do y'all know how to? I can't roll my R's. Can y'all? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Birria.
It's something. That's closer than I got.
Yeah. Barili.
That's it right there. Yeah. It sounds exotic, Tyler. Antonio Banderas. Say it again. How'd you say that?
Baril.
Yeah. That reminds me of Puss in Boots. Malcom used to watch all the time, or that cat talk like that. Yeah, but have you seen these tacos? Man, they are awesome.
Is it where they cut like a split and roll them?
No. We'll talk about that one. Okay. That's one I was going to say too. But this one, so they take, they take some beef short ribs, bone in. They take some oxtail, and they take some beef shanks. They brown them up.
Dang.
And you brown them up, and then you put, take them out, and then you put some onions and some garlics and some seasonings, and you take all these different dried peppers, take the seeds out, put them in there, and put them in the pot. So you braise them down.
Yeah.
You put that brown meat back in that pot. You use beef stock and all these other spices, and it makes this red sauce. Like after an hour, you pull the chilies out and you put them in a food processor to give them some thickness, and you put them back in the pot with the meat and all that. You let it cook and thicken. Then when the meat's done, you take everything out, shred the meat, and then they take corn tortillas and they dip it down in this. It's like a consomme. It makes this sauce. It's like a red beefy layer of fat kind of floating on top.
Oh, yeah.
Consummated sauce. It's all, it's not chunk. Everything's out of it. So it's just the broth, really like a reddish chili broth. They dip that corn tortilla in there, like dunk it, and then put it in a skillet with a little bit of oil. Put your meat on it, and they put some of this Mexican, I think you say quesillo cheese. It's like a Mexican string cheese. It's like a baby Monterey Jack. It's a Monterey Jack before it's aged, but it has a texture of like string cheese, like mozzarella string cheese sticks. So it super melts. You put that on there and you fold it up and you just kind of crisp that shell up with that sauce on it, and it makes this reddish looking taco melt. If you think of a taco,
is it open faced or do they?
No, it's folded up.
Yeah.
So you do it like a grilled cheese, like you flip it, and so you're grilling both sides. And then they they ladle some of that sauce in like a ramekin or dipping cup. Put some fresh sweet onions on it and some cilantro, and you dip that taco in that sauce. And I'm like, yes. Don't that sound so good? And I've never made these, but that's something that's been going. I think Matt posted one of those. I get inspiration from what Matt posted.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, how do we say those tacos? Barilla. Yeah, I'm doing those. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be I'm just going to cook them to try them,
You've done something very similar. You just hadn't dunked the shell and used that cheese.
That's right. That's right.
But you've done like the
broke down
yeah,
beefy taco with the peppers and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking take that meat, give me some big chunks of beef, whether it's bone in or not, fatty beef. You need something.
The bone makes the best kind of broth.
Throw them on the grill, get some color on them, then move them over to the Dutch oven, do all that braise on them in the Dutch oven with it open a little bit, cooking down, and then cover it up, and then dunk the tacos and do the whole thing. And then do them on a cast iron skillet. Just set the skillet right there, the flat, the round flat one, set it on the grill, do that to it, and dunk them.
We're going to have Matt on the show next week. We're
going to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure.
Y'all ever been to Taco Ananas in Memphis?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's like a famous food truck. I think there's 4 locations, and they have something like just like that.
Really?
It is awesome.
Oh, that sounds like a lunch trip.
I'll get that set up.
Yeah. I need to ask La Siesta if they can make those.
They'll do whatever you want.
Malcom special too.
Yeah. Need some new tacos. Barilla.
Have you seen the bacon wrapped onion rings?
Yeah, those have been around a long time. I had never tried them though.
I don't.
Yeah, I like bacon wrap anything. Did you see Mark? You saw Mark's stuff. He bacon wrapped this week. Yeah,
bacon wrapped donut holes.
I'm trying those too. I'm gonna TikTok those.
Those are really good, and he took time with them. Like he, got them all pretty and flipped them halfway through, and
and
he caramelized the sauce on both sides, and
they look good. They look jam up.
Yeah,
I want to try them. We weren't here. He did those for demo day. What were we doing that weekend?
It was my birthday.
Okay, so they did it. He did demo at the shop and try. He was just wanting to do something quick to show how these Traegers can do other stuff other than just the main barbecue thing. Yeah. So he come up with that idea, and he said they were so good, he was going to do a video on it. And I guess he recorded that last week and dropped it. And, man, they look good.
Yeah, they did.
Did you try those? You weren't here that day, were you?
I showed up 45 minutes after he made the post that they were up, and they were already gone.
Oh, really?
By the time I got here. So.
Yeah, we were out of town.
Did you see us? Heath did a barbecue pulled pork dip.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was it, like a cream cheese
cream
dip?
Cheese. He basically took cream cheese, cheese,
like shredded cheddar or something?
Shredded cheddar, sauce,
sour cream,
pulled pork. I don't think he used sour cream.
So it's like crack dip, but barbecue dip?
Kinda. It was basically.
I can get down on that.
Oh, it looked really, really good.
Yeah.
He covered it all in shredded cheese, and it was pulled pork, sauce.
Was it
cream
hot
cheese,
or just a cold? Okay.
Oh, he threw it on the smoker, got it all bubbly.
Oh,
hot.
okay.
It'd be like a, like your Frank's
buffalo
Red
chicken
Hot.
dip, but it's made with barbecue.
But with barbecue flavor.
Yeah,
kinda.
I was thinking like that cold. The crack dip you do with the bacon in it.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just put barbecue in that?
You could. You'd have to.
That would be good.
You couldn't use like shredded.
Why not?
Well, you'd have to pop it. Like.
Oh yeah, no, chop it.
Chop it really
yeah.
good.
It's like a terrible chip beef that people used to put in dips.
I love that chip beef.
Granny dips, what I call that. It's
I love that granny dip.
It's like, I don't know, bad beef in a jar. It's like the cheapest kind of jerky all chopped up. You like that stuff?
I like that cheese ball my grandma makes.
That's what I'm. Have you had that, Tyler?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
cheese ball.
It's terrible. Like it's like they took the Oberto, the worst jerky made, Oberto. You ever Oberto jerky, chopped it all up, put it in a jar, then you're supposed to mix it and mess up a good cheese ball. I'm putting that in there, and then they put it in other stuff too. So that's some old thing where people knew what was good.
So something else I saw that I really want to try. They did a barbecue chicken monkey bread. So basically, they did monkey bread,
savory.
Yeah. They did like salt, pepper, butter, salt, pepper.
They use biscuits, or
they cut biscuits into fours, rolled it in some butter, salt, pepper, onions, red onions.
You think
some
you could
cheese, and then threw in pulled chicken and barbecue sauce and baked it.
Do you think you could do that with those Rhodes frozen little Parker House rolls?
You got to let those rise.
Would they not? Like if you got them all piled in there and dunked in butter, they wouldn't rise. It'd just be a conglomeration of different kind of dough, I guess.
It would just taste, you know how like when you taste a pizza crust that tastes like they didn't let the dough rise?
Oh, yeah.
It's got that, the yeast hadn't escaped properly or something flavor.
I'm with you. The biscuits, you just use canned biscuits.
Yeah, they're already ready to go. But anyway, you basically make monkey bread savory and throw some barbecue sauce and smoked chicken in there.
I could get down with that.
They didn't use barbecue chicken. They just had like
canned chicken?
Yeah.
No.
But it looked really good. Chicken. It's got some of my favorite things in there. Cheese, bread, butter.
Garlic, probably.
Yeah, garlic.
It can't be bad. Now, back to those tortillas you were talking about. That's where they kind of do like a quesadilla. You take a big round burrito-sized tortilla shell, and you cut a slit in it from one side, like from the center out to an edge. And then you load it with like 4 different toppings, and you fold it each time to where it folds up into a triangle, and it's got layers. So it's like a souped-up quesadilla. And you grill it on both sides too. So that's what you're talking about there. I've seen that's a trend that's been.
Yeah, I've seen that.
People putting all kinds of stuff in those.
Yeah, I bet you could make that instead of going savory. You could make that sweet. Maybe do Nutella.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Just like marshmallows.
Yeah, marshmallow.
Some dude did it with a big waffle, and he did chicken and waffles.
Folded the waffle like that. Yeah. Oh, that's different. Have you seen those people cooking in the doing all the different stuff in the waffle irons?
Yeah.
They're doing some weird stuff in those, man. It's not waffles. Put cake batter in them, and what's some of the crazy ones I've seen somebody cook a steak in one.
In a waffle iron?
Yeah, it was like a horrible George Foreman gone wrong.
Yeah,
it's like there's no way that's good. They did it though. I see all this stuff on TikTok. My TikTok's gone to like crazy food stuff. Which is cool because you see people trying different stuff. It's a lot of people experimenting out there.
You did, was it a blue cheese waffle you did?
I did. It was a cornbread
waffle.
But I did it with a chicken. It was like
you did Nashville. No, that's what you did. Blue cheese biscuits with the Nashville.
Yeah. But the waffle was just like my take on chicken and waffles. And I did a cornbread waffle. It might have it was like a jalapeno cornbread.
Barbecue chicken and waffles.
Yeah. That was good too. That worked out excellent. Really. It made like a cornbread fritter. I need to do that again.
It was really good.
Make those.
You put cheese and jalapenos in it.
Like Martin's do.
Yeah.
You could do that waffle style and fold it up. That'd be good.
So you did cornbread waffles with cheddar cheese and
that's right.
It
was like a Mexican cornbread is what I call that.
Yeah. I've seen people doing a lot of barbecue bologna.
You can never go wrong with it. That's
like
not new.
It's novelty. We've been doing that for years.
Yeah. Barbecue bologna is nothing new to me. Mississippi prime ribs, what I call it. We eat that all the time. I cooked some at Deer's Camp. That was what we ate on for a while. You cannot mess barbecue bologna up. You can get fancy cut designs, score it to where it opens up and stuff.
If you come to Memphis and May and make it to the booth,
you're going to have barbecue bologna.
That will be an option.
Yeah. We cooked some at the grand opening. Did bologna bites.
Yeah.
There's like little burnt ends of bologna.
People are like, what is this?
Yeah. Something I hadn't seen, though, is people do it. So, do you remember when I did the barbecue bologna and I cut it into thick steaks and then I put it on the grill grates on the PK and seared it and glazed it? That's awesome. Well, why not? You could do that on the Blackstone. You know, smoke your bologna and then glaze it up and then throw it over on the flat top and then just, man, it'd make the best bologna and cheese sandwich you ever ate.
Ooh, that would be good. You know, a lot of these food trends are on kind of Blackstone cooking.
There's a lot. That's a big one now. People are really, I guess people realize they can get out of their house and cook, so they're putting all these different grills and, you know, tools outside. And Blackstone just happens to be one of the big names in flat top cooking, and so you can cook some awesome stuff. It's like you're at a Waffle House, you know, right there. Anything they're cooking, or it's hibachi, you can do. Yeah, I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. Fried rice, man. I saw some dude did some brisket fried rice the other day. It looked awesome on the Blackstone. He just took some of his leftover brisket, you know, cut it up. He did the whole fried rice with the eggs and the butter and the soy sauce, just like you were at hibachi, and then tossed the brisket.
yeah. Smash burgers.
Those have been real big.
Yeah. I watched this one video the other day. The whole reason I started thinking about, you know, these trends and stuff is because I watched this one video where this guy was explaining that you don't smash your burgers more than once. You smash them the first time, get them flat. If you smash them again, all you're doing is pushing all the beef fat out, which kind of makes sense to me.
I can get that.
Yeah.
That's always, whenever I do a smash burger recipe, there's always people that say, you're not supposed to mash burgers. It's like the burger police, like that. I mean, maybe it does, maybe it don't. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting enough flavor in there with seasonings and the onions I'm cooking with it and all that stuff, and it's still juicy. In fact, it's probably the most greasiest way to make a hamburger.
I agree.
But man, and I mean, it's good. If it ain't running down both your forearms when you're eating one of those, something's wrong.
And it gets that crust, you know, you got that crunch, and you get a lot of flavor in that, you know. It's
not the prettiest burger, but man, it tastes good. What do you like better? Do you like that flat top smashed burger, or do you like a no flip smoked burger, or do you just like an old Weber grilled burger? What's your favorite?
Them all. I really do. I like them all equally. I think they all kind of have. They're all different, you know.
I agree. It's like steaks. I mean, I like them cooked different ways.
Yeah.
As long as you ain't sous vide in it. I like a good char grilled steak, and I like one that's been in cast iron.
Yeah.
I like one that's been reverse seared. So.
They all have their own characteristics. They all have things to like about them. Sometimes I'll get in a mood for a smash burger, you know, or just a good.
Sometimes you want that greasy diner burger. Sometimes you want picnic style. That's just like it's cooked on a park grill.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you want them fancy. To me, that's that old no flip. Takes a little bit longer, but you get the smoke flavor to it, so it's just different, you know.
You do, and those burgers are really juicy too. Usually,
those are probably the easiest to cook too.
They
are. You don't have to
do
nothing to them. Just put them on there, and let them go.
And they don't. They keep their shape a lot, you know.
Not hammered with as much heat.
Yeah. Any other food trends that you see, Tyler? Do you see?
You guys covered pretty much everything that popped into my head.
When we said food trend,
like the crunch wrap. Anything chocolate dipped, any crazy desserts. I saw people making cheesecake balls, dipping them in white chocolate and dark chocolate, and
Heath got on another one the other day. It was that. Have you seen this one where they take the feta cheese, the block of feta cheese, and they drizzle it with olive oil, and they put all this stuff around it, and they bake and they put it in there, and then they mix it all up and make a pasta with it?
I want to try that.
Heck yeah, it looks awesome.
Ashley and I made that. It was awesome.
Oh, really? Have you've made it with the feta and all that?
Yeah.
Or?
So do you cook your noodles separately, or do you throw it in there?
You cook your noodles separately. You keep, I think it's a 1/4 cup of the pasta water.
Yeah.
And it mixes in with the feta to make almost like a sauce with the crushed up tomatoes, and it's potent. If you do not like feta, you will not like it. Yeah. If you like feta, it's delicious.
I love feta. Mm-hmm. But I could see you could do that with cream cheese and make a sauce. I mean, you could do it. You know.
You could do a little cream cheese, a little goat cheese.
Yeah,
you know.
Mix it up. Maybe some blue to get it strong.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Then I've seen them where they put the spinach in there with it, and they put so they.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that? It looks really good.
I love a good pasta with some, spinach and tomatoes and stuff. I like tomatoes hot. To me, when tomatoes are hot,
those little like cherry tomatoes, the little heirlooms, the different color ones, when they're hot and they just kind of bust in your mouth, those are really good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you use for that recipe, isn't it?
Yeah.
You use little cherry tomatoes.
Kind of like smash them up a little bit, not like too much, but a little bit, so it gives it kind of like your whole sauce kind of gets tomatoey. It's good.
But that was all the food trends I had, but I wanted to take a little time because people were asking, and I thought it was good. Put your phone down.
I'm trying. This is my list.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to see what I hadn't talked about.
I was going to talk to you about when you first started barbecuing.
When I first started barbecuing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did I tell you?
Did you have anything else?
Fergie's coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah.
No, I had some questions. I was going to talk to you about when you first started barbecuing. Since we didn't do a recipe this week, I was like, what can I talk to Malcolm about?
Hey, I'm cool with that.
So I try to ask questions that I really don't even know the answer to.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That sounds like fun to me.
What was the first thing you remember barbecuing by yourself?
I got asked this last night.
Oh, really?
On a podcast I did with those Grab 'em in the Brisket guys. The first thing that I remember barbecuing, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure we had 2 of these bathtubs that were like metal bathtubs, and the drain pipe come out, on the bottom of the old bathtub. So one of them was the bottom of the grill, and that was the intake. And you turned it the opposite way, and it was hinged to where the lid would open up, and it kind of closed off. That's what we cooked on, and we tried to cook.
And the other vein was, or the other.
Yeah, it was the exhaust
Yeah.
on the opposite side, so it'd flow through.
Did it cook well?
No, it did not cook very well. In fact, we were cooking whole spare ribs. We didn't know to trim them down or any of that stuff. We were just cooking. We probably cooked those things like 8 hours. We'd use Flavorama number 5. We'd get a fire going on the one end and let it be black and sooty looking, and we were burning like hickory the whole time, putting hickory to it. And I don't know who ate them. We drank so much beer by the end of it, we didn't care, But that was one of the first things I remember cooking, just hanging out in a buddy's house. I wasn't at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't at my house. The first thing I probably ever cooked on a grill was probably hot dogs. That's something my mom and dad would have let me cook on a Weber or everybody remembers old Park Grill.
Yeah.
I remember we would have, from a little kid, we would go to, what was the name of that lake? For some reason, I want to say Blue Lake, but it was over in Arkansas. And we would have these 4th of Julys with our whole mama side of the family. And then, my uncles would bring grills and stuff, and then we'd have some of those park grills go, and they'd let us kids cook hot dogs on those where you just throw us some coals in there and,
yeah,
just to keep us busy.
Yeah.
But that's one of the first things I really remember cooking. But
what was the first thing you cooked at a contest?
Not
that you just kind of hung out, but kind of were in charge of.
Actually cooked?
Yeah.
It would be ribs. For sure, yeah.
You and Waylon?
Yep, it'd be ribs. The first contest we ever cooked was South Haven Spring Fest, and Mr. Dave did all the cooking. We just kind of were his pit bitches. I mean, that's what we did. Whatever he said. And we cooked bologna, we cooked pork butts, ribs, we cooked a sausage, like a deer smoked sausage.
But
turned
not
that
to
in
turn.
for exotic.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we turned in, of course we did ribs.
How'd you place?
Oh, we didn't do no good at all. I don't think we got a call in anything. First thing we ever got a call in.
That was the next question. What's the first
red beans and rice. And you'd have thought we won the grand championship that day because we rode around the back of the truck showing everybody our red beans and rice trophy. That's what and we didn't even cook it. It was like Thayer Malone came to. Him and Waylon were kind of had a. I don't know if you call it a team. We were all getting into competition barbecue at the same time, and everybody was cooking backyard. But we wanted to cook pro, so we made a little team, us three.
What was the name?
Just Porking Around, and that was just. And so we did. We went up and did a couple contests, just us three. But we would go back to Lakeland Fun Fest, and it was our party. So we did that as Killer Hogs, and then Theron come over and cooked with us, and he only got to cook with us one time, I think. Because he did red beans and rice. He said he had a great recipe, and we cooked, we were cooking ribs and doing all the normal stuff. I think just backyard then.
Y'all were bad influences?
Oh, yeah. No, I think his wife came out. His kids, she may have brought the kids, and then her dad came out, and he was, like, really having a good time. And so we stayed out there, and it was like, I don't know, it was 2 a.m. I look over, and Theron's father-in-law's just passed out in one of the chairs. His wife comes up there next. It's not good. It's not good at all. I mean, we've been just raising hell, and we got his father-in-law out there just laid out. It was good time, but we won red beans and rice. We've got a lot of people in trouble hanging out with us at barbecues back then. Not
you ain't
now.
Cooking with them boys no more.
Yeah, you ain't cooking with them boys no more. Y'all weren't just porking around. We don't know what y'all were doing. Yeah, we're more Killer Hogging it. We're going whole hog.
What's the one piece of
sure
advice you wish you could give yourself? Like, if you could go back and give yourself
Man, that's a good one.
for like cooking, not for life.
For life. I don't know. One piece
What's
of
a mistake you used to make over and over and over? I guess
changing,
one way to look at
changing every, not
constantly.
sticking with the same thing and just be, constantly, getting out of
That's
the
what-
habit of changing stuff. Like
chasing.
yeah,
Always
that's a
chasing.
bad habit to get into. I mean, I've gotten to where I don't do it anymore, but we used to want to change stuff all the time, and it's about being consistent when you're doing competition barbecue. So small changes,
You make-
small tweaks, yeah, but you don't get away from
Yeah.
what works, and that's hard to get in your head when you go to a contest and you don't get calls. You do, and then you don't get calls for a while. It messes you up, and you think, "Oh, I'm chasing it. I got to do this. I got to do that," or somebody else said they use this, and that doesn't cut it. You'll just end up going in circles. So that was some. I guess I'd give myself that advice.
You need to give yourself that advice on a regular
I
basis. I
do.
feel like.
I'm not good at giving myself advice at all.
What's a piece of advice that somebody gave you when you first started cooking that you wish you hadn't took?
Man, I don't know. Go cook
I remember when I
barbecue,
first
said.
started
It'd be
hanging
fun,
out
they
with
said.
y'all. You would show up with a bucket full of water and wood.
Yeah, no, that was it. We used to soak wood. That was dumb. That
Like,
was,
just keep it full of wood.
yeah, I don't have an answer for that.
You don't have a good one for that one.
Skip that one. You
what's
had some
something you-
tough ones?
What's something you used to swear by that you probably wouldn't do today? Something that you always used to do, never fail, but now you think, it's not as
Waste of time.
important from a cooking.
I don't know. Probably burning onions in the fire.
Yeah.
We used to always, you didn't catch us, and that's been a lot of people. If you come to the Memphis area, you knew you were in Memphis because you smelled all these onions burning, and they smell fantastic. You think you're at the fair, but I don't know if it really does anything. I've done it, using mustard as a binder. It doesn't really do much. Other than you can see where you put your rub. I'll get that from it, but as far as taste, you can't tell.
What was your first smoker you ever personally owned?
Oh, man, I know for a fact. Me and Weather bought it at Cecil's in South Haven. It was just one of those old charbroil. I don't think it was a name. I don't know where they got them. It didn't have a name brand on it, but it was like the one with the side firebox that's made out of like almost tinfoil. It's cheap metal.
Yeah.
We paid like $100 for it, maybe 125.
How
The
old were you?
side firebox. High school.
Okay.
Layla was bringing in grocery baskets, and they had it up there, and I think he got an employee discount. It was like,
Did y'all go 50-50 or something?
Oh no! So we got that smoker. We brought it home, and then we didn't put it out back. We set it in the front yard, like how my mom's walkway comes up to the house in the neighborhood. It was out there on the walkway. We was like, we're going to go to cooking, man. We're going to learn how to cook ribs, and so we cook. We try to cook ribs on it. We even went and bought live lobsters and cooked on that thing one night. And we didn't know what. We just had lobsters crawling all over the kitchen. We put them down, letting them race. We had the little rubber bands on the claws. We cut them loose and.
Those poor lobsters.
Yeah, we threw them on the grill. We smoked them.
Live?
Yeah, we may have put them in water and just for
Like
a split
dispatch 'em?
second, and
Yeah.
then we threw them off. And they was like, "Man, these smoked lobsters would be great." That was the worst lobster I ever tried to eat in my life. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't split them or nothing. We would just throw those lobsters in the grill, and we're gonna smoke them. So they're gonna.
They got to be good.
Yeah, they were not.
How long did you smoke them for?
Not long enough because the meat was still. It was not a good experience. We wasted money on these little, like they gave you. You could go to a grocery store and buy lobsters, and they give you like this little Happy Meal box to put them in. We probably had a dozen of them. Everybody had a lobster. All my buddies was over hanging out. We're gonna have steak and lobster, and it did not work out.
Did you everybody eat the lobster and
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
we ruined those lobsters. It was a waste. It was a bad idea. Real bad idea. Looking back on it, we were young. We didn't know no better.
hey, you got to learn some
Yeah.
way. Lobster races seem like a good one.
That was fun. Sure, my mom and dad did appreciate it. They weren't there.
That would have been a good TikTok now.
Yeah, it would.
What's the first thing you cooked on the grill when you were like, that's it? I got it all figured out now. I'm a genius. I'm a barbecue genius.
Be ribs.
Ribs.
That's where we cut our teeth on. We would go all over the country cooking ribs. You know, we'd throw our grills in the back of a truck and go cook a contest. So, you know, we come up through the backyard or through the, like, how do you call it, patio, backyard, whatever. It's the amateur part of the contest, where a lot of the contests we were cooking had a pro side and a backyard side.
And it was the Memphis and May
That's how we
network back
learned.
then.
Yeah, that's how we learned. So, and ribs was what we cooked, and then we moved on to shoulders, and then we moved on to whole hogs, and then we got into cooking chicken and brisket and all the other stuff that goes with comp cooking and steaks. And so ribs was the first thing that we ever felt like we were really good at. We could go to contests, compete with the pros, and we'd make finals. And we knew we weren't going to beat them because we didn't have the fancy setups and had been doing it all, but we knew we cooked the rib as good as them. So if we were in there in the finals, we knew we were going to get, we didn't figure we'd be grand, but we figured we'd get our share of first, second, third in that category. Yeah. And we did. We had a lot of fun doing that. That's when I first met you. We were dragging you around to do those too. And we'd haul these fake trees with us places. And
we had it crammed down.
Pop-up tent. We had it all packed in a Dodge pickup truck.
We had it so crammed on one trip to, I forgot where it was, but it was far away. It was like a 6-hour trip. I had to keep the fake flowers in my lap the whole way there and the whole way back. I hated that.
I don't remember where that was. Do you?
It was
like
Alabama
Georgia or somewhere?
Something.
Yeah, I think it was like Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Yeah. I had to travel with the
that's been a long time ago.
fake plants for the on-site judging.
I don't even know why we took those. Like those helped us. Let's take these 2 fake trees.
I'm pretty sure I was like, we have got to take the fake trees.
Yeah, that's what's set this. That's what's going to make the difference here. These fake trees are hauling all over the country. They're all over the South.
We'd put them in the back of the truck, leaves
flow everywhere. That's why we started putting them inside. We'd lost too many leaves off of them.
We couldn't afford any new fake trees.
Yeah. Those were Bud's specials. I think we found them at Bud's Discount Dollar Store.
So what experience do you think led to you learning the most about barbecue?
Just doing it over and over and over. Not one in particular, but
there wasn't anything that
it wasn't like some eye-opening moment. It was just like I loved it. To me, it's fun. It still is fun. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun. I love competing. I love cooking barbecue. I love sharing it with my friends, and that's pretty much why I do what I do. Just because I love it so much and love sharing it. So
you love coming up with an idea and seeing if it's going to work.
I mean, I do. I love cooking. That's cooking's fun to me, and whether it's outside or inside, I love it all. And trying to see if I can do new stuff or perfect it on old stuff, and eat. And I hate to eat. That's the worst part. Look at me.
So what do you have coming up?
Memphis and May. That's a big thing on my radar right now. We are doing, I mentioned earlier, Fergie's coming. Richard Fergola from Fergalicious Barbecue. He's going to come show us how to do some Kansas City style burn-ins.
That's kind of what he's known for, isn't it?
That's what he's known for. So
we got Matt Pittman from Meat Church. He's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, we are doing. We're experimenting with our new video podcast guest, where we can bring different people in over the computer. So we're going to see how that works. We've got a couple. Tyler, who do we have scheduled? We've got Nick Mangold. I want to do a podcast with him, right?
Yes.
But that's not going to be. Is that going to be on ours or his?
He's on ours.
Okay, so he was tight end for the Jets.
Yes.
And then we've got. Do you remember the other guy's name that's coming on in the near future?
We're doing Colin Thompson, but you're on his podcast.
Okay, I'll be on his. He's a tight end for the Panthers, right?
Yeah.
So we've got these football players that are into barbecue.
A lot of football players are into barbecue.
Yeah, Eric Cush, I talk to him regularly. He's up there in Ohio still, I think.
Matt said that he will bring the best hair in barbecue to the podcast.
The best hair in barbecue. All right. He's got me beat.
I
do the run and gun style. Just get up, go. You get out of the shower, throw some gel in it or whatever, and just rock. And don't care.
At first, I was like, "Oh, that's a bold claim, Matt." But now that I think
Myron.
about it, that's Myron's got some nice hair.
Rick Dalton, he had hair going.
Yeah.
That's some tall shoes to fill, Golden Boy. I know some guys with some hair now. Yeah. They're proud of it.
If Michael was a little bit older, he might be.
He would get in there with his mullet, yeah. But no, that's that's our upcoming. The main focus is going to be Memphis and May. We are doing a crawfish workshop
tomorrow.
Shop days. Oh, that's tomorrow, right? Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
That is tomorrow. We got that this weekend. We got our Memphis and May meeting on Sunday. We got to go downtown and do that. We got possible rib practice going on Sunday.
Heck yeah.
You're filming a tomahawk
Next
on
week.
Monday.
That's right. Tomahawk steak. Another tomahawk steak.
You're going to try to hang it in a drum.
I am. I'm going to play with some power tools, put some holes in the end of the bone, hook it up to one of the hooks, get it on the drum, and cook it.
We're going to see.
That's just going to be because I want to eat some steak. You don't know how that's going to turn out, do you? I've never done it.
And there, we've got the Mudbug Bash in Hernando next weekend.
Yeah, is there still tickets for that? That's a
I
Palmer
think
Home
they
event. That's their crawfish event. Where they're
Sold it out.
Oh, have they? Okay.
But they are doing a little fair on the street in Hernando.
Be right off the square.
Yeah, right off the square on Pinellas
downtown
Street.
Hernando.
So if you are around in Hernando next weekend, swing by. Me and Katie will be running that booth, passing out some
Awesome. I'll
prizes.
be at the shop that day, probably doing a rib practice.
Probably.
Probably. And eating some crawfish.
Yeah.
But that's about all we got for today, Shell. Where can they find us?
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowtoBBQRight on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Tiki-taki.
TikTok, and YouTube.
That's right.
If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out for us or with us and all that good stuff. And we will see y'all next time. We gone.